I shall make it. I squirted out.
Don't put your hands on me, bro. Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. You're under arrest for trespass.
I didn't throw a punch. I didn't swing back. I didn't kick. You know, one man's pulling me this way, one guy's pulling me this way, one guy has me by the waist, one guy has me by the arms, you know, and I basically just fell over and they fell on top of me, and at one point I felt like I was fighting for my life. There was 4 security guards on top of me in blue uniforms, 2 in yellow, and then the police came in. Thank God I had some, you know, I wasn't knocked out when I hit the ground, you know, because at one point I really felt like I was fighting for my life.
Folks, welcome to our latest campaign in our never-ending fight for justice in a world gone increasingly mad thanks to the Wuhan virus. Indeed, we have just launched a new website portal, helpjoshua.com. That's helpjoshua.com. And if you can help us out, we would greatly appreciate your assistance. Joshua, by the way, is Joshua Walker of Pickering, Ontario, and a member of the Canadian Armed Forces Queen's Own Rifles. Earlier this month, Joshua visited Upper Canada Mall in Newmarket with his pregnant girlfriend, Samantha Lynn Thompson. The couple planned to do some Christmas shopping, but what unfolded was downright surreal as Joshua was roughed up and tackled by several of the mall's security guards. And then, to add insult to injury, he was eventually criminally charged. It is a staggering story, a bizarre story, a story that simply does not make any sense. And just wait till you hear the nitty-gritty details. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Pickering, Ontario. And folks, I am with Joshua Walker and his girlfriend, Samantha Johnson. And the reason I'm with the couple is that, well, you know, when you go to a shopping mall, as this couple did last week, what do you expect to do? Well, as the name would imply, do a little shopping, maybe grab a snack, go to a movie. You sure don't expect to get tackled by a half dozen mall security guards, apparently for no reason. And Joshua, that is exactly what happened to you last week in Newmarket, Ontario. You went to the Upper Canada Mall, I believe. And, well, tell us the story. I believe it all starts to unravel in the food court, correct?
Yes, that's correct. We came in the mall to do a little Christmas shopping. We were wearing our masks when we came in. Fast forward to the food court. We were hungry. My girlfriend's pregnant, so we were all hungry. And we bought some food at the food court. And there was nothing that she wanted, so I bought some sushi and some teriyaki. And she's allergic to sushi, so she goes, "You eat your sushi." She made a joke, like, "Get away from me." So she went to shop, and I sat down. I just kind of blended in around the food court area where other people were already eating and sitting. Actually, in fact, a gentleman in a wheelchair wheeled up shortly after I sat down, about 6 feet from me, and he was eating his food as well. A security guard came over and said, "You can't eat here."
And he was directing the comments at you, not the other people.
Right towards me. Okay. And I honestly, I chuckled just under my mask, or under my breath, I chuckled. And you know, shortly after, you came out, Sam. She came out of the wherever she was, and it was really funny to us because, honestly, stereotypically, you'd think, you know, the black man would be giving more attitude. But the reason I'm saying it was funny is because the guy in the wheelchair, the Caucasian gentleman, a little bit lighter complexion, was actually giving the security attitude. And so the security guard shifted his attention from me and started talking to him. And then he was saying, "You can't eat here." And the guy in the wheelchair said, "Well, if we can't eat here, then tell us why. Then they should stop selling food in the food court."
Yeah. What are you supposed to do? Stand and eat it, I guess. And I suppose that was the rule, that there was no sitting down, I guess. It was for takeout only. But Joshua, you alluded to something I think is very important. Do you think your skin color had something to do with this? Do you think there was some sort of a racial targeting of you? Because you mentioned there were other people in the food court, and I presume you were the only black gentleman there?
I don't know, to be honest with you, if I was the only black gentleman there, but I do know that there were other people eating, and there was another Caucasian gentleman that I believe wasn't asked to leave leave the mall. He in fact left his garbage, and Sam said I picked up my garbage and threw it out, and we were complying with their request to leave. We packed up our food. I took my soda, and we were leaving. So. Regardless of I felt targeted, but I was kind of a little bit funny to us that the guy in the wheelchair was giving them attitude, and we just said, okay, we're out of here, Sam took a bite of the food, and we put our masks on, and then we're leaving.
And Samantha, was that indeed what you happened upon when you came upon the food court?
So when I came out from shopping, because he was, like he said, he was eating sushi, and I'm allergic to sushi, right? So when I came back out, I had just came back out in time for this gentleman in the wheelchair to actually be saying stuff to the security. And again, we were laughing at it because it was kind of funny. Again, stereotypically, you don't really see that often, right? So it was definitely alarming when they asked us to leave the premises over not eating, or not like eating the food, and it was just over that type of situation. It was just crazy because it's like, okay, fine, give us a warning or something and allow us to proceed to clean up and whatever else, but they didn't even give us that opportunity. It was straight, you have to leave the mall.
Oh, so this is very interesting too. This wasn't you had wrapped up your shopping. This was you leaving because they said, I guess it's one strike and you're out if you dare to sit down and eat some food in the food court. Okay, so you're at this point, there's a couple of security guards. They are frog marching you out of the mall. And folks, we have some video of this. Yes. Let's just take a look at what went down.
Yo, you got the three fucking stooges here. Curly, there's Curly. Curly, Larry, and fucking Mo over there. Don't put your hands on me, bro. Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. You're under arrest for trespassing. Don't put your hands on me, bro. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Don't put your hands on me.
Hey! Hey! You cannot put your hands on him!
What are you doing, bro?
Stop! What are you talking about? We're leaving!
What I see in that video, guys, is you're not ragging the puck, so to speak. You're not delaying things. You are complying. Correct. You are walking out of the mall. And then you said something that seems to have... I'm laughing because it's such a lame thing to trigger somebody in security. You alluded to them being akin to the Three Stooges, one of my most beloved comedy acts of all time. I would take that as a badge of honor. And that's when he suddenly says, you're now going to be arrested for trespass.
No, sorry. What had happened was we were walking, and he was, saying stuff about the Three Stooges or whatever, because they were behind us. Yes. And as you see in the video, next thing you know, he gets shoved by one of the security guards. You can actually see the security guard. I think it was within a certain range, and you can actually see him extend his arm and put his arms to Joshua's back, and you can see him push him. And then the security guard, I believe it's to the left of the video, again also nudged him. So that's when he turned around and he's like, don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. Why are you touching me? And then next thing you know, right after he said that and the altercation had happened, he then turned around and is like, you're under arrest for trespassing. So it was after the security guards had assaulted him, then he's under arrest.
And that's what it is. They have no right to be touching your person, Joshua. No. You are complying. You are heading out of the mall towards the parking lot where your car is parked. Why were they getting handsy with you in the first place?
We were. So, the best way that I could put it is that I think they really just had it out for me from the beginning, because when we left the food court, we were on the upper level, and they followed us from the upper level all the way down the escalator, and we were maybe 40 to 50 yards from our exit, And there's a video that Sam had before my video where the security guards were at the bottom of the escalator and they were maybe 10 yards from us. And between her video and mine is maybe 30 seconds to a minute where they position themselves from 5 to 10 yards behind us at the bottom of the escalator to where then I take my video where there's then only 2 security guards within 2 paces from us, and one of them positions himself 2 paces ahead of me. And I'm saying that in military sense because I have a sense of spatial awareness, and at the same time that I'm taking the video, I'm not in any aggressive posture. I have a soda in my hand, my phone, and my takeout food in the other hand, but I'm still keeping awareness of around me. And yes, I'm protective of my girlfriend because she's pregnant, as any man would be, but we are complying. We have our mask on and we're on our way out.
And in fairness, like, he was walking my speed. He was walking to my speed because I am pregnant and I have a little bit of a waddle, so I'm not walking as fast as I normally would. You know, I'm carrying someone inside of me. So he was really and truly walking my pace, and they just really didn't like what he was saying to them. And ultimately, I think that's where it stemmed to become a problem, because at the end of the day, it's like you put your hands on him for whatever reason because he called you the Three Stooges or whatever he wanted to say. Like, first of all, it's not a crime. It's not a crime to talk to somebody like that. Okay, yeah, it might not be the nicest, but get over it. We're all like grown adults here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, if there was a crime for belligerence, we'd have super prisons being built all over Canada. But more to the point, I think, Samantha, is that as far as I can tell, you were not in breach of the Trespass Act. Yes, the mall is private property, but a mall, like any mall, it welcomes in people to do their shopping. You were complying. You were walking out. Like you said, Samantha, maybe you weren't walking out fast enough for them. Maybe they didn't like the Stooges come up. My goodness, they must have thick skin if you're in security. This must have been an absolute surreal moment for you. At one moment, you're shopping or eating in a mall. The next moment, you're face down on the linoleum.
Excuse me for lack of a better word, but you can hear in the video, my original video, when they arrest me, say you're under arrest for trespassing, my immediate response is, what the F?
You're under arrest for trespassing. Don't put your hands on me, bro.
I was shocked, and I didn't throw up. I didn't throw a punch. I didn't swing back. I didn't kick. You know, one man's pulling me this way, one guy's pulling me this way, one guy has me by the waist, one guy has me by the arms, you know, and I basically just fell over and they fell on top of me, and at one point I felt like I was fighting for my life. There was 4 security guards on top of me in blue uniforms, 2 in yellow, and then the police came in. Thank God I had some, you know, I wasn't knocked out when I hit the ground, you know, because at one point I really felt like I was fighting for my life.
And the insult to injury, I think, Joshua, is at the end of the day, you are charged with assault and intent to resist arrest. Mm-hmm. I didn't see assault on your behalf. I didn't see an intent to resist arrest. No, not at all. I mean, and of course, there must be all kinds of mall surveillance that would also back up the cell phone video.
Cam.
Yes. What do you make of of these charges then?
Honestly, I'm right now. I'm still. We're both still shaken up about it. We're taking it in. I appreciate you guys reaching out to us, and we're gonna have to go through the legal process. I was charged with assault to a peace officer while resisting arrest, and then ticketed for trespassing, and that's a criminal offense, and a ticket that I have to deal with in a legal matter. So I'm glad I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. I felt like I was targeted, and just I don't want this to happen to anyone else. I don't want this to happen to anyone else.
And you know, I think another added element of insult to injury here, guys, is the fact that the mall spokeswoman, Adrienne Simic, she said that you were being belligerent. I don't know if your interaction passes, the benchmark of belligerence. So in a way, it's almost as though she's kind of defaming you. We did reach out, by the way, folks, to Upper Canada Mall, but my email has not been returned. And of course, now we got to move on with this. As you know, Joshua, we have a website, fightthefines.com. When we saw that shocking video footage, we felt so badly for you. So we've already inked you with a lawyer. We are going to do crowdfunding. And by the way, folks, if you want to go and make a donation to this very worthy cause, it's helpjoshua.com. That's helpjoshua.com. Because there's two issues here. First of all, Joshua, we are going to fight like tigers to make sure that these charges are dropped or that you're found not guilty. Secondly, there is a civil suit here. This mall has to be accountable for what they did to you. So what do you think about that? The fact that it's Christmas time, you've got all kinds of stress and payments and everything else, but you don't have to worry about the lawyer's bills. We're going to crowdfund that for you with a top-notch criminal and civil lawyer.
Thank you guys very much. I don't know what I would have done if you didn't reach out to me. We were just average people, as you saw when you came into our house. We were making dinner. Shalom was home watching TV, playing games, and if it wasn't for you, I would have just been searching for a lawyer, and maybe I would have got caught up in the system.
And one thing I forgot to ask, Joshua, did you suffer any injuries during the encounter?
I did, and I went to the day of, I was taken by ambulance to South Lake Regional Health Center in Newmarket, and I was examined there. They took x-rays, and long story short, yes, I followed up here in Pickering with a local walk-in clinic, and my injuries are documented, and I am currently seeking treatment for those injuries.
It's incredible because you are a member of the armed forces, of course, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So it's not, I mean, maybe if you're deployed to Afghanistan, that's one thing, but you were in a shopping mall just north of Toronto. For this to happen to you, I just find it incredible.
Unbelievable. And if anyone who condones this type of behavior, or anyone who supports this type of behavior, any organization, that supports this, I believe they should be also held accountable, because this is not right what happened. We have to send a message that this is not right, and it shouldn't happen again to anybody. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, doesn't matter. We live in Canada, we live in a free country, and this should not happen to anybody, especially if you're complying with the requests.
100%. And so, Joshua, we are going to, like I said, we're fighting like tigers for you. We got to correct this wrong. And Joshua is right, folks. I mean, we have all kinds of attacks on our civil liberties in the name of public safety as we fight this COVID virus. But the thing is, these kind of attacks on our civil liberties, these kind of initiatives in the name of health, it shouldn't be a matter of our constitutional and charter rights being trumped to curb this virus. And that's what we saw, I think, at Upper Canada Mall with Joshua. So last words, perhaps, maybe to you, Samantha. The reason you went to Upper Canada Mall, you have roots in the Newmarket area. I guess you never saw anything like this at Upper Canada Mall.
Never, not at all. No, this is absurd to even, just to witness and be a part of, because it's a hysterical situation, and nobody deserves to be treated like that. We're all human, and we all bleed the same blood, like we all deserve to be treated equally. And I just think that this whole situation was just unfair and unreasonable. And to be honest, it's a disgrace to Canada.
When you say unfair and unreasonable, in addition to the physical assault of your boyfriend, are you also alluding to maybe that there was indeed some kind of racial profiling that started this in motion to begin with?
I definitely think he was definitely targeted, for sure. Like he said before, there was a lot of people eating in the food court as well, and around and within the area, and none of them were approached and asked to leave. And I just think that that's wrong. And I do think it's because of color, because he was the only black man that was there. And I'm still at loss for words, because I've never witnessed something like this in my entire life. Yeah, it's just sad.
And Joshua, last words go to you. I don't think anyone from the mall or the management has reached out to apologize. It seems that they're doubling down by saying that, almost implying that you deserve this because of you being belligerent. But have you heard of anything in the days since the assault?
I have not heard anything from them. I have not heard anything from the security company. I would be more than willing to even hear what they have to say about the incident, and I am even more curious to see the mall surveillance footage as well as the security body cam footage of what happened. And when you see it, when the public sees it, you will see that we were telling the absolute truth.
Well, I'm sure that'll all be part of discovery. And folks, like I said before, if you want to contribute to this very important suit, please go to helpjoshua.com. We're going to defend him criminally, and then we're going to go on the offense and make sure there's a price to pay for that outrageous behavior by the mall security guards at Upper Canada Mall. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, what happened to Joshua Walker at Upper Canada Mall was a disgrace. If you want to help us help him, please go to helpjoshua.com. That's helpjoshua.com. And if you're able to, make a donation.